Hi guys, welcome back to channel. We live in the world where everyone talking about these things called automation. So right now, automation is just like that hot cake in market. Hi guys, my name is Naveen, and today we are going to learn this things called what is Microsoft Power Automate. That is the leading tool in market and how we can start my career as a RP developer, as a Power Automate developer. Let me check all these things. We'll go for one by one. So guys, what is RPA? So before going to start this things called conversation, before going to start this things called power automation session, we're going to understand this thing called what is robotic process automation. Okay, so robotic process automation is technology that use software robots or bots to automate the repetitive task, any type of rule-based task, any type of monotonous task. So that is performed by humans. So RPA bot can mimic the human actions such as logging into any application, entering the data, performing the calculations, extracting the information from documents, email, or website. Okay. So that is the things done by these things called robotic process automation. So automate the business process by robot. That is called RPA, guys. That is called the robotic process automation. Using the RPA, we can automate any type of manual task, whatever going on industry in market, we can automate using these things called robotic process automation. Okay. So using RPA, we can go for automate any type of application like the desktop, web-based, PDF, Excel, email, Citrix, SAP, multiple type of applications we can automate using these things called RPA. Okay, so RPA is not like the totally new. It's more than 10 years already completed in the market. And if you go for these things called RPA, there are n number of tools available in market that we are going to discuss here. So let me go for these things called next slide, guys. So if you go for market, more than 100 plus RP tools available in market, but if you go for ask for the question that whatever the top popular tools in market, like the top five, if you want to go for understand, if you want to check that, if you go for these things called market, the first number one is that is called guys UiPath. Okay, so lots of people know that UiPath is the leading to in the market, and if you're going to ask these things called market share, that is more than 45%, more than 50% market share already adopted by these things called RPA UiPath. Okay. UiPath is also a very good tool. If you get these things called according to market, like a job wise, your all these things called freelancing, work wise, everything will get the more chance into these things called UiPath. Okay. After that, Power Automate, talking about these things called Power Automate is also a very good leading tool. And it came after 2020. Previous, it was Microsoft Flow. Right now, after 2020. So in market, it's complete more than 3 to 4 years in market. And that is the Power Automate is these things called leading to the market. And that is the age of technology. That is the bomb that is only 4 years, means latest tool that is called Power Automate, guys, and that market share is more than 30%. That is also very good tool. Apart from Power Automate, we have automation anywhere, that is very good tools, guys. So that is the third number tool. So market share is also more than around 40% of market share, that is automation anywhere. Apart from that, we have Blueprint, that is the totally oldest tool in market, like that you will get the multiple developers of RPA, you will get this like that into Blueprint. That Blueprint is totally oldest tool. Apart from Blueprint, we have multiples in number of tools, in number of RP tools, like that Kofax, like that your automation is like your Nice, we have a Windrunner, multiple in number of tools available on the market. But if you talk about these things called top RP tools, that is the UiPath, Power Automate, Automation Anywhere, and Blueprint. Okay, so let me go for these things called next slide, guys. Here, talking about these things called Power Automate. In Power Automate, like that we have multiples Microsoft Power Platform. Okay, so that is the part of these things called platform. Microsoft Power Automate is the part of these things called this all the Power platforms. If you're talking about these things called Microsoft Power platform, there are n number of platforms like the Power BI. We have Power Apps right now. We have a Power Automate right now. We have Power Virtual Agents available in these things called Power Pages also available. So there we'll go for these things called multiples your platform available, and one of the platform that is called your Power Automate. So Power Automate, that is the RP tool, guys, and that part we are going to understand here right now. That is the Power Automate, that is for automating the process. That is the your RPA Microsoft Power Automate. Okay, so these are the all platforms available in the market into the Microsoft platform. Let me go for this things called next. So guys, again, what is Microsoft Power Automate? That we are going to understand. So previous Microsoft Power Automate, formerly known as Microsoft Flow, that is the cloud-based service that allowed to create the automated workflow between various application services and systems, enabling the automation of repeated tasks and the processes. Okay, so Microsoft helps you to automate the task and process across the different applications and services, such as sending notifications, synchronizing the file, and collecting data and more. Okay, so Power Automate is same like that, same tool like that UiPath or automation anywhere or blueprint. That is same tool like that. That is the Power Automate, and previous Power Automate known as like that your what I can say Microsoft Flow. Previous it was they've acquired from this things called Softomotive, and Microsoft right now they've started like that already. We have more than completed more than 4 years into these things called Power Automate. That is very good tools, and if you that is the best part if you come to understand. In Microsoft Power Automate, coding is not required. That is totally drag and drop tool, guys. So you can start without coding. If you go for UiPath, that is the .NET required for that. But if you come to these things called Power Automate, .NET is not required at all. Only to understand these things called variables, you have to understand these things called syntax, how we can go for automate, what is the actions, what is all these things. You have to understand. You have to understand the cloud, and you have to understand these things called your desktop part. Let me go for these things called next slide. That is very good things that you have to understand. If you want to learn these things called Power Automate, you have to understand these things called history. That is the Microsoft Power Automate history. Okay. So initial launch, talking about these things called first number Microsoft Flow. That is that initial launch is like that in 2016. Okay. That was the cloud apps, and that is the services. The first time they launched in the 2016. Okay. After that, after November 2019, that Power Automate previous known as the Microsoft Flow till 2019. In 2020, they've given these things called name as a Microsoft Power Automate, and they've acquired from these things called Softomotive. That previous company was a Softomotive, and now they've given this name as a your Power Automate, Microsoft Power Automate, and here that was the cloud version they started after November 2020, 2019. And talking about these things called Microsoft Automate Desktop, that is called PAD. So after 2021, like they're talking about these things called January 2021, they've launched these things called first version of these things called your Microsoft Automate Desktop tool. That also I'll try to show you that Microsoft announced the Power Automate Desktop solution, generally able to the Windows 10 years, and go for these things called no additional cost. Okay, so after Jan 2021, they have launched these things called Power Automate Desktop. Previous like till November 2019, after they have only cloud version. Okay, so right now also they have a cloud version, they have a desktop version. That will particular things we'll try to show you. Okay, talking about these things called, guys, what is the Power Automate Desktop? So I'll try to show you. If you want to go for that Power Automate Desktop, you can open like this way, and you can go for start your coding. That is the desktop level. That is called alternate board, guys. Like this way you're able to open. Okay, the best things today, they like that we got these things called updates like the 2.54, all these things. So if you want to go for open, you have to go for remind tomorrow, and you can go for start the creating the flows. Okay, we'll discuss this part later. Okay, so let me go for this things called RP part. Here we'll go for this things called understand these things called cloud flows. Okay, so talking about these things called Power Automate, if you go for an interview, they can ask you this question that what is the different type of flow. Okay, so when you go for, you have to know about these things called what is the different type of flow. Okay, so talking about these things called, we have two types of mainly flow. That is the one is the cloud, and the second part is this things called desktop flow. Okay, so let me show these things using these things called website. You have to go for these things called Microsoft.com, and you have to go for these things called login to system, and you have to if you go for login, you will come like that, and you'll get these things called sign it option. Okay, so when you come to this particular page, there is a home button. You will get these things called your name and all these things, and after that we were getting these things called create a flow to automate the repetitive business tasks. To start all these things, you have to click on these things to create. When you click on this things called create button, automatically will come on this things called 3 ways to make a flow. In the cloud, we are getting these things called automated cloud flow, that is instant cloud flow, scheduled cloud flow, and we're getting these things called desktop cloud flow. Okay, so talking about these things called automated. Okay, so automated, that is especially for these things called, that is this flow are triggered by any type of event. So that we are getting these things called email arriving, a file is being created by some emails, we are getting these things called a record being updated in the database. Okay, so that is especially if you're getting these things called any type of triggered function, we're getting these things called email. So you can, if you come to here, we are getting these things called triggered by a destination event. Okay, so that is especially for these things called automated cloud flow. Talking about these things called second, that is the instant cloud flow. Means if you're running any program, if you're going to create any particular flow into the cloud, and you're going to start as a manually, so that is called triggered manual as needed. You're right now, if you're going to run any program using the cloud, that is called instant cloud flow. Okay, let me come to this things called schedule cloud flow. That is, if you want to schedule something. So if you want to schedule cloud flow as triggered to based on this things called time, such as every day 10 p.m. you want to automate your bot, like the 10 p.m. you want to go for automate any bot, that is called guys schedule cloud flow. So automated, that is by email, like that any type of trigger. Instant cloud flow means if you want to go for run any bot manually using these things called instant cloud, you can go for these things called cloud. And if you want to go for schedule any bot, so that you can go for this things called schedule cloud flow. Talking about this things called desktop flow. When you click on this things called automated process on your desktop environment, so that is totally attended bot. If you want to automate into desktop application, web-based application on your desktop, you can go for click on this things called desktop, and we are getting this things called option that is called launch app. Or if you don't have particular software, you can download from here and you can go for start. Okay, so like this way we can start for this all these things called cloud and desktop quality we have checked. Let me go for this things called PPT right now. So that is the things we have discussed, all these things: automated, instant, schedule, and desktop. Okay, let me go for this things called next slide. So guys, that is very good question that you can ask me, that who can learn RPA? That is the Power Automate, guys. So who can learn? And that is totally like that, low code and no code. So guys, anyone from this things called non-technical background, that is there from this things called BPO, there from this things called KPO. So anyone from this things called non-technical background, you can start the career, because here in Power Automate already we have discussed there is no any coding. If you go for UiPath.net is required, but if you come to this things called Power Automate, only to understand this things called how we can use these things called actions, how we can go for creating these things called variable, how to go for these things called manage all these things, you have to only to understand. So you can start the career. The second part right now are the people who are from this things called software testing background. You're from this things called manual testing background. If you're from this things called automation testing background, like the Selenium, UFT, that we have a load runner, we have Apache JMeter. So anyone from this things called testing background, if you want to come to this things called RPA, you will get the very good growth, and here salary is very good compared to this things called testing world. And here up for upcoming 10 years to 15 years, you will get the very good opportunity, because in RPA, that is RPA with AI, will get the multiple opportunity in the market. Okay. So people who are from this things called digital marketing people salary is very less compared to all the developers. If you want to come to this things called world, definitely you can start the career as a RPA automate developer. People who are from this things called front end developer, if you want to come to RPA, will get the very good salary, and here career growth is very good. Here anyone person who are from this things called legacy project manager, like that, your software testing manager, anyone from this things called digital marketing like that manager, if you're from this things called any type of old particular programming language, if you want to go for this things called, if you want to come from this things called different programming language, so if your salary is very less compared to if you had 15 years experience, 10 years experience, salary is less than 10 LPA, 15 LPA, definitely come to this things called Power Automate. So developers are they are earning more than 20 LPA in the market right now in this things called Power Automate. Okay. So anyone from this things called support, guys, please understand, if you're anyone from this things called from BP background, from this things called your what you can say double A, like the automation in your background, from a UiPath background, if you come to this things called UiPath, will get the very good salary into the market. Talking about this things called here support engineer. There are lots of people who are into Power Automate support here. Try to come to these things for Power Automate development. Definitely, we are going to help you. So these people can start the career as a Power Automate developer. So people who are from automation and development, from UiPath development, COFEX development, blueprint development. If you come to these things called Power Automate, you will get the more benefits, because in Power Automate, coding is not required, and Power Automate is totally new tool. Okay, so one thing I will tell you guys, if you go for different tools, talk about this things called blueprint, there are n number of developers available like that into blueprint. Automation is also n number of developers available in the market. Talk about this things called same thing, UiPath, n number of developers you will get in the market. But talking about this things called Power Automate, there very less developers will get the market. Why? Because Power Automate is totally new tools, and only 3 to 4 years we have done into the market. So that's why please guys come to this thing called Power Automate and start the career as a Power Automate developer. So guys, again, you can ask me this question, what type of roles available in the Power Automate? So guys, please understand, anyone who are undergraduate, you can start the career as a Power Automate intern. People who have already completed the BCA, MCA, BTech, and all these things, you can start the career as a Power Automate developer. People who have more than 2 to 3 years experience into Power Automate, you can start the career as a senior Power Automate developer. And guys who have more than 6 to 7 years experience and into RPA and 2 to 3 years experience into these things called Power Automate, or 3 years plus experience with the Power Automate. Guys, you can definitely start the career as a Power Automate solution architect. That person is the pure technical, and that person is the bridge between your like the client and this things called developer. Okay, so that is the person who is the bridge between. He is going to help all these things for the technical and non-technical people, and that is same like that. That is the person, the tech lead. Okay. After that, you have post of these things called project manager, that is program manager, project manager, senior project manager. So people who has more than 10 years plus experience of IT and software market, at least 10 years plus experience, and at least 6 to 7 years experience or 8 years experience of RPA different tools, you can become as a Power Automate manager. You can go for start the career. After that, we have on top level, we have Power Automate director. So if you have experience more than 15 years to 20 years plus, you can become a Power Automate director. So if you want to become a Power Automate director, at least you should all certification and at least 2 to 3 years tools knowledge, then you can start the career as a Power Automate director, and at least experience would be minimum 15 to 20 years. You can definitely start the career as a Power Automate director. Okay, all these rules are pure technical. Apart from, we have a Power Automate like that your business analyst, that is the Power Automate business analyst, we have a rules. So here people who want to start the career into your RPA, if you don't have knowledge about these things called technical, start the career as a Power Automate business analyst. Business analyst salary is very good compared to developers, so that is not bad. You can start the career as a Power Automate business analyst. Power Automate support engineer, so lots of people who want to start the career and that they are not good into technical part, so you can start the career as a Power Automate support engineer. But salary wise, developer is very good compared to your support engineer. Okay, so talking about these things called, guys, why to start the career as a Power Automate, why to learn the Power Automate. So please understand, guys, here that is the things we have discussed, that is called low code, no code. RP is totally low code, no code. But if you come to Power Automate, here only the things right now to understand, that is that you have to understand the function of the Power Automate. Here coding is not required, only two to three things you have to understand, that is the what type of actions required for the automate any things, what type of operator you're going to use, what is like the plus minus equal to not equal to. So all these variables you have to understand, these things called which variables required for that, like we have integers, we have double, we have decimals. So all these things you have to create by yourself. You have to understand all these things. They will try to help you. The second things here, easy to learn and complete in 1 month. Please understand, Power Automate it's possible to complete in 1 month because here coding is not required. Only have to follow these things called. You have to follow this all the actions. You whatever the actions required, you have to only complete these things called desktop, PDF, Excel. Like the basic variables, like the arithmetic progression, all these things you have to automate. But in 1 month also, you are able to learn all these things because here not required to go for any programming language. Directly you can start the career into the Power Automate. The third part is very important. That is the age of technology, that is very less, only 3 to 4 years. Means born with the Power Automate after 2020, guys. That is the Power Automate. So 3 to 4 years we have already completed. And talking about these things called developers are very less in the market. If you're going to search these things called UiPath, you will get the 6 years experience, 7 years experience, 8 years experience also into these things called UiPath. But if you're going to search these things called Power Automate, only the like that your genuine guys will get only 2 to 3 years experience, will get into these things called Power Automate. Okay, so people are very less, demand is more, but people are very less. So genuine guys is very less into Power Automate, and competition is very less. So try to start the career as a Power Automate. The fourth part is very important. High demand of Power Automate and AI integration. Please understand. So Microsoft tool is the Power Automate is these things called, that is in very high demand. So lots of company they are going to migrate their particular project from UiPath, Blueprint, Automation Anywhere to the Power Automate. Why? Because the Power Automate tool is very less. That is like that costing is very less, and that is very powerful and able to automate without any coding language. So costing of all these things, like the developers, all these things called costing of the tool, that is very less compared to all these things. So that's why, guys, please start the career as a Power Automate developer. And here all these things you can go for a start. So it will take less than 1 month. If required, go for 2 months also. But within 1 month of time period, you are become ready for the technical things. You have become ready, and you can become ready for the interview. Okay, so that is the things you can go for, these things called learn Power Automate. So guys, you can ask this question, what is the particular portal for these things called Cloudflow? That is the make.powerautomate.com. Power Automate portal, especially for learning these things called actions. We will learn.microsoftautomate.com, and for certification we will learn.microsoft automate. Let me go for show all these things, guys. So if to go for these things called this particular make.powerautomate.com, that is especially like that your Cloudflow, that is the website for that. Already I've mentioned the PPT. If you want to go for these things called learn these things called actions, whatever the like the flow, your workflow, all these things about these things called PowerPoint, that is the learn.microsoft.com. And there were number of certification if you want to complete the PL 500, 600, 900. So this is a particular website for these things called completing the certification. There you can go for complete. Okay, let me go for these things called. This is the particular portal, and here we are going to understand these things called, guys, Power Automate the pricing plan. Okay, so if you want to start the career as a developer, at least you have to know about these things called what is the costing of these things called Power Automate. So guys who are the totally guys who are totally fresher, like if you are a fresher, and if you want to learn these things called Power Automate, you can start the career as a Power Automate. So you can install this things called tool that is free of cost into your system, and that it will work up to 30 days. After that, I will try to go for renew your software. I will help you for that particular things also. But if you want to go for this things called PowerPoint premium account, that is for only 1 month, they charge only $15. Per month, they're charging these things called $15. Okay. So in this particular place is like between $15, they're providing this thing called Cloudflow, desktop flow also, and power process and task mining with the 50 MB data storage, 5,000 AI builder services also they're providing for all these things called PowerPoint premium. If you want to go for these things called Power Automate process part, that is the $150, guys. So here they're providing these things called your unattended mode also, means they're providing these things called attended as well as unattended mode. You can go for both part, and here also 5,000 AI builder services and data versus entitlements of the 50 MB database and the 200 MB file. Okay, so for $150 they are charging for these things called attended and unattended mode. You can go for start these things. Okay. But here, if you want to go for these things called virtual machine, okay, so if you want to go for start for these things called virtual machine, you can go for this thing called PowerPoint hosted process. That cost is $215. That is the per month, guys. And then you can go for this things called Cloudflow, desktop flow, virtual machines also will get 5,000 AI builders also will get data versus entitlements of the 50 MB database and 200 MB file also will get. Okay, so that is, guys, the costing of these things called Power Automate. That is the per month plan for this things called work for one system. You can go for start these things. Okay, so that is the, guys, about this things called Power Automate. And if its video is going to help you, please subscribe to our channel that is called Future Tech Era, guys. And if requires any help, definitely we are going to help you for your software installation about Power Automate, helping for these things called cloud part. So guys, please subscribe this channel, and thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.